Hi everyone, welcome to the Mama Elephant June release. Remember to leave a comment on these release videos for a chance to enter a drawing to win a prize from Mama Elephant. This release will be available June 15th. Today we have a fun agenda set, Little Agenda House, and also a new alpha die, Lucky Alphas. My friends, this is so cute. Little Agenda House. It's giving me Animal Crossing vibes, and I am so giddy over this. I love everything about this. I love the bushes. I love the bushes especially. And my favorite one is the house that looks like it has an apple on top, but I made mine a peach because, of course, my Animal Crossing island has peaches as its native fruit. Here's a look at the coordinating dies for Little Agenda House. And then also we have a new Creative Cuts alpha set, Lucky Alphas. This is a really big set. It has the alphas, also numbers, and a whole word, hello and happy. I will be coloring in these fun images today using Copic markers. First, I'm coloring my favorite image. I love this. I made mine a peach, but you could definitely make this also an apple or maybe even a pear. But my Animal Crossing island has peaches, so that's why I decided to go with that. I kind of failed keeping track of the marker colors I use because, as per usual, my desk is a horrendous mess. There's markers everywhere. I always fail to put it back in their cubbies. But for the oranges, I used YR00 and YR01, I believe. So I love these. I didn't really have a plan for coloring. I just kind of looked at each house separately and just decided a color scheme on the fly. It was like so fun to just kind of do it that way. Usually I try to coordinate everything, but I just went for it and just colored it as I went to each different image. Yes, my friends, I still play Animal Crossing. I don't really know how to decorate it. I just like doing random things. I love, and sorry in advance for all the video game talk, but one of my favorite things to do is buy clothes and give my villagers like different random clothes that look funny on them. So I, of course, have Marshall on my island, and no, wait, not Marshall, the cat. Raymond. I have Raymond on my island, and at first I hated him, but now I love him because I give him all kinds of crazy outfits, and it's so fun to log in and see what he's wearing on that day. It's so fun. So with these images, like I said, I just decided the color scheme on the fly, and today we are continuing the saga of I had stamped these images out on paper that I'm not used to using, the 100-pound accent opaque, and it's a little different than the Nina, so but it's not in a bad way. It's just different. So I feel like the colors like look darker. It may just be me, but what I like to do is for the blending, I start out with my medium color, and sometimes I only use two markers for blending. So there's a lighter and a darker, and what I like to do is where I think is going to be the darkest shade, I actually kind of outline that out with the lighter color marker first, and then just decide where I want the shading to be, the darker areas. And then after I do the lighter marker, then I'll go in with the darker marker on top of that after I make my plan. It just makes it easier for blending if you have the lighter color down already. So when you put the darker over it, it's just less work trying to blend it out later. So normally I would plan out my colors in advance. I would test run the markers and have like a whole color scheme planned out. I didn't do it for this one because there were just so many images to color, and different elements like bushes. There's a tree. It's so cute. All the little tiny like decorator images. are so cute. Oh my goodness. I like all the flowers and the little pennant banners, and it was just like a lot of color schemes, and I didn't really want to stress myself out. So I just decided to throw caution to the wind, um, and just color it, whatever I felt like for the images that the image that I was on. So for this one, it's sort of like a holiday themed house, and I wanted to make it look as non-holiday as possible. So I didn't color in the wreath bow in red. I just did it in orange to match the house, to make it look less holiday. So when there are tons of images and tons of color schemes and like different elements, sometimes I just don't bother with the whole planning and making sure. That would just be more stressful than just doing it. So that's what I did here. Luckily, I think the colors all worked out, so I'm happy about that. I just cannot stress how much I love this stamp set, and I like it when there's like little landscaping elements, because you can use that for different scenes in other stamp sets. So here's what it looks like all cut out, my favorite part. I thought I would create the scene on Slim Highland. This is a previously released die, and it was designed by Kiwi Concepts. And I cut out that die, and it cuts out landscape pieces within the inside of the die. So I'm just ink blending them with Distress Oxide ink in Lucky Clover. I'm just going to make it all green. And then the sky part, I use Distress Oxide ink in Broken China, I believe. So just some simple ink blending. I just wanted it to be green hills and a blue sky. So all the pieces are separate, and I just kind of taped them together first before I adhered them to my like card panel. Time I have to adhere pieces to the card panel, I like to put it together before I adhere it to the card panel, just to make sure that everything fits before I commit to doing it on the card panel. So I just used a little bit of washi tape, and I just love how this turned out. I like the way it looked, and I did it this way because I wanted the panel to be a flat surface, because I have a lot of elements to put on top. So I wanted it to be like an even playing field before I adhered all of the die cut images. I'm going to do 2 clusters of the houses, and I'm going to use the Lucky Alphas as my sentiment, and I thought this would be a cute welcome to the neighborhood card. So the sentiment I'll be using is welcome. So I loved all of the little bushes. It's like my favorite part. It's so random, like the different things that I like about a stamp set. Sometimes it could be the main image, and sometimes it could just be like a tiny image. And these bushes are life. I love them so much. There's trees, there's flowers. So I always take a picture. Whenever I adhere stuff on a card, I've usually laid it down beforehand to make sure where I want the pieces to go, and then I'll take a photo. That way, when I adhere it, there's less room for error. I thought some of the houses looked a little bit boring, so I'm adding in all of these little baby pennants, and it's so cute. I love that it has a coordinating die for it, and it just dresses up the house. So I added the little pennant to the ones that I thought looked kind of boring. So here's a look at Lucky Alphas. I'm going to cut out the word welcome. So I cut it out in white. I wanted it to be not so distracting. So I've laid it out. I'm using some Post-it tape to lift that thing up in the position that I want it. You could also use press and seal I don't have any at the moment, so that's why I used Post-it, just to keep it together, put glue behind it, and adhere the whole thing to the card, and then I can pull the Post-it tape out, and it's perfect alignment. I really liked how this worked out, and I like doing that Post-it or press and seal trick because it makes it so much easier to adhere it down, and you know how much space you have, and you know it's going to turn out exactly the way you want. I'll be adhering this card front into a card base off camera, and I'm calling this card done. I loved how it came out. I want to cry. It is so cute. It came out way better than I had imagined. I loved it. I loved making it. I loved every step of the process. It was so fun. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you all have an awesome day. Stay safe and happy crafting. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.